Hello, guys. Welcome back to the Chelsea Godfather channel. Please subscribe for regular updates. Let's jump right in. Fermin Lopez, 22-year-old attacking midfielder from Barcelona. He's 5'9". He's 22. He plays. He can play 10. I believe he can play on at the left hand side of the left half side of our attack. Which could be anywhere from 10 to like almost closer to the left wing. He has both left foot and right foot. I mean, he's Barcelona, La Masia trained. His stats, right? Career wise, he scored 31 goals from 130 games, 31 goals in total from 130 games throughout his entire career. Last season, though, he only had 8 goals from 46 games. And the previous season, he scored 11 goals from 42 games. Obviously, this does not include his assists, which are fairly high. So obviously, the obvious question is, why is Chelsea being linked with this player, Fermin Lopez? I mean, this is not a player that was anywhere on our radar, right? Because this whole summer, the whole plan has been about Xavi Simons. Simons has been our man. Simons has told us that he's our man, and we told him that he's our man. That's the guy that we have been chasing. Again, they are both similar. I mean, I've done all of the comparisons through Data MB, through who scored stats, all that stuff. I mean, they're almost, in terms of stats, right? Xavi has 44 career goals out of 137 games. So that's fairly close to, Fermin's 31 goals in 130 games, right? Obviously, Xavi has, a bit more goals, probably just by the same number or so in terms of assists, in terms of size, and that's really the big consideration for me, given that the Premier League is a physical league. Xavi, while Fermin Lopez is okay. I mean, they're almost the same size. Lopez is listed at 5'9". Xavi is listed at 5'10". So he's only 1 inch. So they're pretty much the same size. So at this point in time, it's looking a bit like a toss up, right? Like a coin toss. And the whole issue right now is Leipzig is RB Leipzig. Pretty much insisting that just about the only way to get this, Xavi Simons deal across the line is if they're able to buy Christopher Nkunku from, Chelsea, and and of course, us fans. I mean, I'm here. I'm scratching my head. I'm wondering. All right, Nkunku, do you want to play or do you not want to play? But I think part of the issue is Chelsea has valued Nkunku at around £40 million, which is just too much for Leipzig to bear, to pay. To get that deal done, Chelsea's going to have to bring that price down. Now, I don't know what kind of number Leipzig is looking at in terms of what they can actually afford. If I had to take a wild guess, Leipzig could probably be able to afford a number that's closer to 30 million pounds, right? And we're at 40. So when I ran the numbers, his book value after you deduct the years for amortization, I believe Nkunku's book value is somewhere around the 35 million to 36 million pound valuation. So I mean, for me, I feel like that's right a deal that should be closer to getting done, notwithstanding that Fermin Lopez has been linked with us, and then the question now becomes why is Fermin Lopez being linked to Chelsea? Why is Chelsea showing a late interest in Lopez? Well, again, as I mentioned earlier, number one is the fact that the Xavi Simons to Chelsea deal obviously is up in the air. I mean, like we had expected this deal to be done a while ago, and we're literally about 4 or 5 days away from this window, slamming shut. So at this point, the directors have to start looking at contingency plans, and that's where Fermin Lopez comes into the picture as a backup plan. Now the question is why? How has he found himself on the outside looking in? Because this is a solid, talented player for Barcelona. Well, the issue again for Lopez, I believe he's almost in the same situation or a similar situation as Kobe Mano at Man U, in that here's a talented player that his minutes have just been the first couple games have been played. He's barely played. I don't know if he's even played. And I believe the last game, I don't think Lopez played the last game for Barcelona. If I'm wrong, please feel free to point that out in the comments. But my point is that Lopez is pretty much sort of deep in their squad, and he doesn't hasn't been able to start the last few games. Of course, it's only 2 games, and then the other consideration, which is really the main consideration, is the fact that Barcelona needs to offload a player to balance their books in order to be able to register their summer signings for Champions League this season. And so therefore, again, that is why not only is Fermin Lopez available on the market, Chelsea has him valued at right around 50 million euros. Now whether if the deal gets done, or whether it gets done at 50 million or a little more than 50 is anybody's guess. But the point being that this appears to be an opportunity where both teams can help each other, right? Barca needs to register their new signings. Chelsea, we need another quality attacking threat in the middle of the pitch, right? In the middle of the pitch, a player that can bring a little extra dynamic play to our attack from the central area of the pitch, and and that's in the event that we're not able to get the Xavi Simons deal completed in time. And so this is like a very solid backup plan for Chelsea. Apparently some contacts have been made so far to Fermin Lopez agent and his people to understand where the mindset of the player is. Is the player open to a move from Barcelona down to London And if right, that's the first step. If he says, you know what, I would like to hear more, right? Because that's the way it goes. It's not yes, it's not no, but all he has to say is, can I hear more? Can I hear more about what you have in mind? And if what we have in mind is something that makes sense to Lopez, he knows that Chelsea, just like Barcelona, is a deep squad. But if he feels like that like there's an actual plan for him to fit into this squad, compared to where he currently is, then that's where the opportunity lies for Chelsea with regards to being able to convince Fermin Lopez to switch sides from Barcelona to wearing the Chelsea blue. Again, that's a massive if for me, because I find it hard to believe. I find it hard to see how Chelsea can, pursue Xavi Simons like the last 2 months, right from July, really, literally. We've been going after Simons from July, and here we are in towards the ending of August. It's almost 2 months, and then only at the last minute to make a massive pivot over to Fermin Lopez. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, I expect Chelsea. What I would, what I see happening is over the next 24 to 48 hours is very key. If we don't get a Xavi Simons deal across the finish line by the close of Thursday, is from where I am sitting, by Thursday, if it's not a done deal for Xavi Simons to a Chelsea, then there's a reasonable likelihood, if in fact Fermin Lopez has given Chelsea any kind of green light, then there's a reasonable likelihood of Chelsea going really hard and trying to get the Fermin Lopez player from Barcelona over to Chelsea. That's how I see it. How do you guys see it? Please like this video, share this video. Please subscribe to my channel. God bless you guys. One love.